This is Baruch Fleischman, and this is the Parsha of the week in the Zohar. It's Parshat BESHALACH. Reading just the top here, if we have time later in the week or whatever. Get into the Matak Medavash. He has a beautiful, beautiful, sweet Pirush. The Zohar says, Hashem cholach lifnehem yomam. So this is the escape from Egypt. Hashem walked before them, he says, under the daytime. So that's just that part of the pasuk. He says, Rabbi Yossi Pasach, Rabbi Yossi began to speak, and he said this, the art scroll says that the Yalas HaShachar really means the morning doe. But he says it's also an instrument. So using this instrument, say like, I'm just saying, like, for example, we have an instrument we call the clarinet. It starts out, let's say, with a clarinet. Something, but I think they were stringed instruments. How precious is the Torah according to, in the presence of the Kodesh Baruch Hu. The call man to ishtad ba'raisa, anyone who learns Torah. Rachim hu le'ela, rachim hu le'tate, becomes a love, it's a love and a rachmanis from up above, a kindness is tremendous from up above in the worlds beyond the filth of flesh, the worlds down below. Kudsha barichu adseitz le'ela miluye. So Kodesh Baruch Hu listens to the things, the melula means the words that the person says. Lo shavek le, he will not abandon that person. By alma in this world, v'lo shavek le ba'alma da'ase, and will not abandon him in the next world. And he needs to learn Torah day and nighttime. So this is really a pasuk. He says, then you will work on them, you will learn them, read them, day and night. And also that if it wasn't, then my brisi, day and night. So bris goes with day and night. Our relationship with Hashem is for the day and for the night time. So it says Tainach, so let's go to be a mama. So I understand that Belel Yamai, so how do we know about nighttime? Again, the Shkiach Legabe Shema Kudsha Barichu, that you should be able to be found, or to the Shkiach Legabe Shema, Shema Kudsha Barichu. Come the Liz Yom Below. So he says the reason why is because this. Let me try to translate it. Why nighttime? Well, we need to why do we need to learn? I guess he said learn Torah at nighttime. Begin the Yehesh Shkiach Legabe Shema Kedusha Shalim, so that you can have a complete, in regards to this person, a complete name of Hashem. Kama the list Yom Belel Lagil, so it goes like this, just like you can't have, there's no such thing as day if you don't have night. Lav Iku Shlim, and so therefore there's no completion. Ella, Doa, this, Im Doa, you have to put the two together, you have to have a light, you have to have a day, so this is the concept of opposites. Kach boy araisa the ishtat kach himei the baranash yom of the so the same thing, the Torah, which is a flow of the face of Hashem coming at us, the person has to be able to work on this day and nighttime. So they become a perfection in regards to people, day and nighttime. But he says that the root, the start of the lifetime is at midnight. Palgus Lelia, Ve'elach, and onwards. And even so that the first half of the night, that's also considered nighttime. All begins at the Edens, because in the time of the at nighttime, this time HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which means really here the male force in this section, he enters into the Gins and the Eden. So it has lots of different meaning, but let's just keep it like male and female. The Eden, the Hishtasheh im Tzedikaya, in order to celebrate, to delight and take delight with the Tzedikim. Look at then, and then at that time, boy lay the barnash, the makem of the mele baraisa. At that moment is when really the perfect time for us would be to get up and learn Torah. For Itmar says like this: the kud shacharichu v'kol tzedikai, the begins of the Eden. the Kodesh Baruch Hu, and all the tzaddikim that we find in the Garden of Eden. So in other words, this place, which is beyond physicality and is way beyond, it's possibly picturable in our imaginations. This begins to the Eded Kuchul Tzaisin the Kolek. They all listen to his voice. This is the meaning of this. This was Yeshevas Beganim, he who dwells in the gardens. Chaverim Machshivin the Kolek Tashmi'eni. So he said, your neighbors or those who are around you, to see what Matak maybe will tell us what this means. Machshivin, they listen to your voice. Hashmi'eni, hear me. Now we explained this before. Hayoshevet beganim. Now when we say this phrase, he who dwells in gardens, who is that? He who is the who that's dwelling. Zah Knesset Yisrael. Now Knesset Yisrael, we know from before Shem, it refers to, of course, the Jewish people, but it refers to the Shekhinah. It's another word for the Shekhinah. So began the Rabedah Knesset Yisrael, the garden. He who dwells in the garden. I guess he means the owner of the garden. He who is the garden. And sings praises out to Kodesh Baruch Hu, which is the male part. So this is the garden is the female, and the female is calling to the male, and that is coming out as a praise of the Torah. The Torah itself is the call itself of bringing this unity about between male and female. Happy is the person, or meritorious is the position, the portion of man d'ishtate b'chador, who's able to join in with this. The shivach alei the kudsha b'richa b'shivach the raisa, the praise of Hashem, to bring up the glory of Hashem with the glory and the praise that comes from learning of the Torah. And it says v'chad ansi tzafra. So when the morning comes, he says, Knesset Yisrael says the Mishtah Shecha Bekudsha Berichu. The Jewish people get up, and we delight with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. We celebrate with him. We mix with him. Bekudsha Berichu, that is, the Jewish people as the female force, the receptacle, wants to reach up and be able to bring down this tremendous shefa of the Kodesh Baruch Hu. V'oshit la l'gaba sharvita the chesed. And when that happens, then it's extended down to her a thread of chesed. Sharvita, I think it says the word sharvit. I think you see it over there in the Megillah. By Achashverosh had a sharvit. He had this thread. Here, it's lahavdil. It's a lagabel, the sharvita, the chesed. He has a thread of chesed gets extended down to that person who learns Torah at night time. Below Allah b'chudoh, but not just on that person. But not just there, but all of those that join together with that person. And this is what is written like this: Yomam Yitzavach Hashem Chaysto. In the morning, Hashem will commands His commandments of Laila, etc. And this is the reason why it's called the morning doe. Morning doe is sleeping, who is pure and beautiful, who is seeking now her match, her mate, and calling out. And that's where we match that when we learn the Torah. That's I think what he is saying. For Amba Rebbe Shemin says like this: B'shata debod lehitz nahara tzafra, at the moment that the morning is motivated lehitz nahara tzafra, to shine. Is chashek, that at that moment it becomes very dark. Is kader nahara v'kardusa ishtakach, so everything is found in blackness. Is chadar nahara, the light becomes blackened. V'kadrusa ishtakach, and everything is found in really complete and total darkness, ultimate darkness. But then is chavras idesach b'bayla, at that moment of darkness where nothing can be seen. That is the moment of yichud, of ZOHAR v'nok. Then is chavras idesach b'bayla. This is where the woman now, the female force of the world, joins with the male force. The Tanina we learn like this: Isha mesaperes in baila. So this is lashon. So the woman, that is the woman, she speaks out to her husband. There's going to be some beautiful things here potentially in the Matak V'Davash, which we will see it later. to be him, to speak with him, to communicate with him, and to be able to come up and enter in to his palace, that is the palace of the male force and the female force, becoming one. Let's see a little bit more. I think we have just a little bit more here. Let's see if we can finish it out till the Matuk Medavash is conveniently separated different parts. Vasa Kas Ekatsan, after this, boy Shimshel, the male Isnahir. So now after this complete darkness, and there's a yichud that takes place. Now the sun wants to shine. The sun is going to shine. Va'ases Lelia V'natela, and that shining that wants to be shown, that Lila, that darkness which represents the female force, which is empty now, she takes that light. V'isnai V'natela, then called Tyrant's demon. Now at this moment all the gates are closed. And so what is happening here? The Hamrim Na'arim, and donkeys bray. The Kalbim Navchim, the dogs bark. He said, Kad Ispelech Lelia, but when the night splits, Shari Malko Lemekam, then you see that the king is now becoming aroused. You see, he begins the Mikre, he says, the Shari Lemekam, to get up. He begins to become aroused. Matranisa, that's the queen, that is the female force. The Zamra, to sing. V'asem Malchu v'akish the Sarah the Hecholach, and then comes the king. He said v'akish, and he knocked the Sarah the Hecholach, and he knocks on the door of of her palace. V'amar piskili, and she says to him, open up for, and he says, v'amar, he says, piskili achosi, open up for me, my daughter, Brayasi, my beloved one. Because if you see the contradiction that Achosel could be her daughter, because his sister, his sister, I said it wrong, Achosi Ilvarayasi. He said because they are, the Zohar V'nuk, they're really a pair. So then the celebration really begins to take place. B'nish Matzachon to the Kaya, with the souls of this perfection, of the tzaddikim, of this perfection. Zakor Choloke Dahaku the Yisara Haku Zimna B'midach B'rais. Happy is the portion of that person that is able to wake up for that time and to learn Torah. Begin for this reason. Call in the B'nei Heichel the Matranisa, all of these that are in the palace of the queen. They all have to get up at this time. He's talking about us, I think. He's talking about us. He's talking about the Zimdach of the Shvach of the Malchut, to give praise to the queen, to the king rather. And all of them, they sing out tremendous praises in front of him. The Shvach of the Saldach, and they give a praise that goes up from this world, the Ihu Rochid, which is very far from him. In other words, from the depth. And this cry out at this time, from this depth, is more precious to the king than anything else. So now it said, Kadistalkan Laila, then the Laila disappears. Va'asid Safra, now you have morning time. Viskader, and it gets darkened. Kedin Malka Matranisa Beraza Bechedfa. Now this last part, this darkened part that we're talking about, that's when the Malka and the Matranisa Beraza Bechedfa are in the secret, their secret away in pure love. V'hivlecha b'matnan l'kol b'nei heicholo, and he gives her gifts, a tremendous gift. He said, but all of those who are found in her palace. So he says, happy is the person, man de'ihu b'minyanu, who could be counted in that group of people. This is Baruch Fleischman. Is a really beautiful piece of Zohar here. Whether you get a chance, it'd be nice to read the Matuk Medavash on this Zohar, maybe a little bit more involved. It certainly will be. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tigran Elevator Kolo.